What's happening, y'all? Rich Sosa coming back at you with another video today. And before we get started, I gotta say thank God King Jesus for another day and another opportunity. Comment down TG for thank God and where you're tuning in from, and I'll definitely be sure to get back to y'all with a response. So as y'all can see from the looks of the thumbnail, title, and screen, today, man, I am bringing y'all one of the most comp center builds, bro. Now, this is also an OG build name, and this one actually does come out to the two-way skilled stretch, bro. Now, on this build, man, we're going to get some upgraded dunk packages. On top of that, pro dribble animations, standing dunk packages, man. And this is really a low-key of a lockdown defender, man, because this build is going to be able to especially be used in the ones, man. I think this is the perfect ones build, bro, to combat those post scorers. And like I said, bro, this is one of the better lockdown defender builds that you can make, especially with the way that I did create it, bro. Some of the defensive badges that we get, man, I'm telling y'all, we have the potential to get legend and movable enforcer on this build, which is honestly one of my favorite things about it. On top of that, this build is a dead eye shooter, bro. So I just want to say thank y'all so much for your support. God bless every single one of you. And if it's your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Smash that like button. Turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family. Now from here, man, let's go ahead and get into the breakdown of today's build. So I got a lot of videos that I've dropped for y'all this year, man. This is probably my 14th build, and I'll put a pop-up card of the top 10 most rare builds that you have never seen before if y'all want to go ahead and check out some of my other content. But as far as for this build today, man, it's going to be really special, especially if you're looking to be a dribbling center, man. So the first thing we're doing today is putting this build under the center position. Once we go ahead and get into that height, you want to drop this down to 2 ticks of 6'9". And then once we get to that weight, man, let's go with 219. Now, as far as for that wingspan, I'm going to put this to 7 feet. And this is what actually really surprises me on this build, because you get everything needed from the shooting perspective, and even more so when it comes towards the actual defensive end, bro. So let's go ahead and dive first into these physicals. So as far as when it comes towards that vertical, I'm going to put this all the way up to a 74. Now once we get into the strength, let's go with a 91. And this is probably my favorite thing about this build, is that we're not able to get bullied, man. Now for that agility, I'm going to move this up to a 76. And then for that speed, make sure you go with an 80, just to give yourself some speed on the defensive end. But this is pretty much what we're going to be looking like, and this really goes hand in hand with the badges, you know, the attributes, man, the animations, requirements that you're supposed to hit, especially for the takeover. So let's get diving into the defensive end. When it comes towards my defensive rebound, you got to go with an 85. Now, that really opens up the floor perfectly to grab a lot of boards, and even though you're a little undersized, man, the offensive side is really going to make up for this build. Now, once we get into that block, I'm going to put this all the way up to an 84. And then for the actual steal, man, make sure you go with a 79. So you're going to be able to get some steal lanes as well as on-ball steals. Now, as far as for the build overall, man, like defensively, I'm telling you, this build really shines on this side of the ball. Now for that perimeter end, we're going to go all the way up to an 89. And then for that interior defense, make sure you go with an 82. Now, just a little glance, bro. I'm telling you, this build has everything that you need defensively, so the offense shouldn't be an excuse. Now, as far as when it comes towards the actual finishing today, and I'll be sure to get into the badges at the end, bro. Let's just max the build out first completely. So for that post control, we're leaving this at a 56. When it comes towards that standing dunk, you got to go with the 45 for some extra packages. And then for that driving dunk, man, we're going to go up to a 75, just to meet a minimum threshold for, like I said, certain dunk packages here as well. Now for the actual driving layup, move this to a 65, and then go with a 79 when it comes towards that close shot. Now this is really just to start with the offensive side. I promise you, the playmaking and the shooting in itself, bro, are really what's going to carry this build. So if you're looking to be some type of primary shooter for your team that can still handle the ball while being oversized, bro, I'm telling y'all, this is going to be the build for you. So when it comes towards that mid-range shot, we're going to put this all the way up to an 89. Now for that three-pointer, make sure you max this out to an 83. And then for that free throw, I'm going to go with a 71, just so that I can say this build is safe to take into any 5v5 setting. Now let's dive into the playmaking, bro. For that ball handle, make sure you go with an 80. Once we get to that speed with the ball, I'm going to go with a 68. And this is what we're going to be looking like once you get this build maxed out to 99 overall. Now, based off the pass accuracy, that's why I say this is the perfect 1v1 build. Now, let's just go ahead and say you want to take this build into the rack, the 5s, the 3s. You can definitely go ahead and do so, man. I got y'all a different version of that. So let's say you want to drop down that bow handle to get more out of this area. As you can see, it does take up a lot of the attributes, so you can go from the shooting if you want to, the defensive, man. Comes down to your own preference, but to get this exact build name, man, and to be the most competitive build overall, I did decide to take a minor hit on my pass accuracy. Now, I have other builds like this that have a higher pass accuracy, man. So if you want to build like that, I'll be sure to put a pop-up card right here, my 6'9s, bro. I'm telling y'all, this build is truly going to be dominant. Really reminds me of the 6'8 builds that we had last year in NBA 2K24. So let's start with some of these badges. So getting into that defensive end, man, we get Silver Paint Patroller and Post Lockdown. Now on top of that, you get Hall of Fame Off-Ball Pass. For that perimeter end, you get Challenger Steal, On-Ball Menace, Pick Dodger, with my favorite badge today, bro, Immovable Enforcer on the Hall of Fame tier. Now, if you use your tier upgrade to get this into the Legend tier, man, I think this is going to be one of the best lockdown defender builds because solely of this badge. Now, you also have the potential to get Silver Glove, also Interceptor, man. Once we get to that block, you still get all silver badges here with Pogo Stick and High Flying Denier. And then for that defensive rebound, still pretty nice, bro. Rebound Chaser, Pogo Stick, Gold Box Up Beast. Like, defensively, there shouldn't be any complaints with this build, and this is one area that I would consider to take down if you want to get more out of that pass accuracy. However, it's a little bit too much for my liking on this build. Remember, this is more of a 1v1 twos build, so I think you're going to be just fine if you make it even with a 55 pass accuracy, bro. I've seen people who go even lower. Of course, you're going to be dealing with the speed of passes at that time, but I think for now, man, this build is really going to be able to carry the load on the defensive end. And let's just say you do use this build as your main center, man. Just have your point guard come up to you and get the ball, bro. It's just that simple. Now, on top of that, we also do get the Pro Dribble animations, but for these badges, you get Lightning Launch, also for the ball handle, Ankle Assassin, Handles for Days, Silver Unpluckable, with my second favorite badge today, bro, Hall of Fame Strong Handle. Now, remember, you can use your tier upgrade of badges towards this one as well to get it on the Legend tier. However, feel free to go about this to your own liking and play style. You know, you still get Dimer on this build from the pass accuracy, so really comes down to how you see this build fit and suited for your playstyle. Now, for the 71 free throw, I think this really hits perfect to take this build into the rack. Now, for that 3-pointer, you get Silver Deadeye, Shifty Shooter, Gold Shot Specialist, and also Bronze Limitless Range, man. I cannot stress enough how important it is to get this badge on builds this year. And then for that mid-range shot, the same exact thing, but for the finishing, man, on the driving dunk, we got the minimum threshold of Bronze Posterizer, which means you still do have the potential to get some contact dunks, bro. Maybe not the animations, but 2K does have contact animations in the game still, bro, especially for this badge alone. Now, you get Silver Aerial Wizard, and at the top, man, Paint Prodigy. So I think this is truly one of the more well-rounded center builds. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below, man. Is there anything that you potentially would change? I truly think this is one of my favorite center builds that I've made personally this year, especially being able to be more of a dribbler and shooter at the same time with some really nice defense. Now, for these takeovers, we also get at least 20, bro. Board B, some of my favorites. You get Great Wall, Horse, you know, Mirror. You know, a lot of great takeovers. 3 and D, you also get the Commander, Physicality, Midi Maestro, the Intimidator, bro, Grit, like all of these takeovers, even Glass Gunner and Eraser. Some really nice overpowered takeovers on today's build. Let me know down below, are there any types of changes and adjustments that you potentially would make to today's build, bro? I think overall, this is one of the better center builds that you can make, and these takeovers are really, well, I'm gonna say make this build overpowered, man. Like, the plus 15 and the plus 8 really are going to make this one of the better centers to use. Now, especially being at the height of 6'9", man, these takeovers really make up for those areas. However, let me know your favorite thing about today's build. And if there's something that you have that's a little bit better or more rare than this build that you're seeing, bro, I want to know down below. So let's go ahead and move forward to make sure that everybody made the build correctly. We should get the first comparison of Miles Turner. We also got Bam Adebayo. And together, man, we have created at my 14th build, the two-way skilled stretch. Now, I just want to say thank y'all so much for your support. God bless every single one of you for making it to the very end. I'll be sure to continue to drop these builds for y'all. And all I ask in return, bro, is that y'all smash that like button, be a part of the Rich family, and we're all good. But as far as for this one today, man, I'm really happy to see builds that we made last year in NBA 2K24 be even better with more to work with, bro. I really want to just say thank every one of y'all for your support. Now I want y'all to realize y'all are a part of the most positive 2K community in YouTube and the 2K community in general, bro. So I love y'all, I thank y'all, and if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you know, smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family, and last but definitely not least, with all that being said though, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.